Ready or not, here we go. That's right, people. Welcome back to another episode of Crypto News with Julie Kennis. I'm your host, Julie Kennis. And as you can see, I am in a new location. That is right. I was tired of fighting with the internet. I am pretty sure we probably have a slightly better connection. I don't know. I feel like my light is a little bright. Is my light a little bright? Let me turn it down a bit. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. Guys, we're working with the settings here. We're working with the settings. I don't know. Let me know how it's looking. Let me know how it's looking. How is it sounding? How is it sounding? You guys, I took everything apart. Had to reset up the whole live stream station situation. No more studio. No more studio. Yesterday was the last show. You know, I have to say I'm a little sad, though. I thought we would have more of a monumental last day in the studio. No. The internet was giving me issues. The kitty will be here at some point. There's actually two of them. You guys know I have two cats. So if I were to guess the one that's going to come say hello at some point, it would probably be Toby. Toby is named after The Office, Toby from The Office. It's my daughter's cat. And he will like come jump up on the counter right here and open this window and look out the window. So he will probably pop in and say hello to us at some point. My cat, Gatsby, he's a little shy. As you guys know, he's a three-legged tripod cat that survived being hit by a car, drug his limp leg up into the backyard, asked for help, took him to the vet. 2 surgeries later, he's down a leg and he's up, down a life, but he's up. He's up overall. So Gatsby may come down here, but I will say, just because he's a 3-legged cat, he's missing his back leg. He doesn't come downstairs unless he has to. He just prefers to stay upstairs. Number one, because it's a little warmer up there. So, anyway, I like went running upstairs to go grab something and it scared him. And he was like laying up against the wall looking at me, like making sure he wasn't in danger. So I don't think he'll be down anytime soon. But if we see anybody, it'll probably be Toby. Toby will be around at some point. We'll say hello to him. He is a very mischievous cat. So Toby, he after Amelia got sick. So I never planned on having 2 cats. I really just wanted the one. But after Amelia got sick, the neighbor ended up having kittens. And my daughter, oh my gosh, she just melted when she saw this little kitten. And I couldn't not let her have the cat. I'm like, you've been through so much. She was going through so much with her health. And she wanted that little kitty so bad. And it was so cute because she would sleep on the couch and he would just curl up right there with her. And it was the cutest little thing. So they're 2 little peas in a pod. You know, when she gets older and moves out, Toby's going with her because that's like her cat. That's her cat. And so yes, I'm watching the comments come through Blockynomics. Good looking out, Mike Volmer. And shout out to everyone else who is here in the chat. Just talking about my cats. You guys, I'm not in the studio anymore. I'm live from home. I'm going to be coming live from my house every day now. Just, you know, spent the last year driving to the studio and, you know, I'm just going to live stream from home now. I think it's going to work out from here. Hopefully we'll see how it goes. I can't close the door to the office. So it's not always going to be the most ideal situation. Like, you know, my kids will be home or something. So we'll see how this goes. But for now, this will work. This will work. I do need to rebrand the top though. The branding on the top does not go with my new environment. So I'm going to have to like update that. And that was the one thing I did not get to today. Chipper says, peace of my mind posts on X, but he's not in here. We miss you. Peace of my mind. Come back. Come back. So, shout out to everyone in the chat, though. We had Mike Volmer was in here first, and then Jesse was in here number 2. We had John Legend, the legend, and wonderful Mama Shadow. We're planning out our tour on the giant banana. Me and Mama Shadow, we're going across country together. So, hello, Chipper. How are you? Black Hat team, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying your vacation. Is that what we're calling you? Are you on vacation right now? That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So good to see you. John Myers, welcome in. Welcome in. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I'll get to you. Just feel free to jump in over on the chat. If you guys are on X, you can stay on X. But if you want to chat with us over on YouTube, go over to the YouTube. Where is the 16:9 screen? That should be there. It should be there. Is that not there? I don't know. I don't know, Jesse. It should be there. I should have both streams going. I should. So, you guys, I hope you're having a great start to the day. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. Smash the subscribe over on YouTube. Help me get to 1,600. I think I'm at like 1533. It's like bouncing around right now. Just don't unsubscribe to me, okay? I see my friend Dano Crypto. He posted for the last 90 days. He lost 23 subscribers. That's just painful. Nothing says bear market like losing crypto subscribers. How many hours left? So I'm still at 75 hours left. So because I went into the weekend, and over the weekend I had only 8 watch hours on Saturday and then a measly 2 watch hours on Sunday. So tonight at midnight, I'll get 2 watch hours. So, and then I'm going to lose watch hours from last year, 365 days ago, that fall off. So I'm kind of still stuck at 75 watch hours for the next 2 days. So yeah, I'm just stuck for a minute. The weekend came. I did not go live stream. You guys know I don't live stream on the weekends. I try to take the weekends for family, to be with my kids and enjoy time with them. So this weekend we're going out of town. 24-hour stream. Let's freaking go. John Myers says, that's a big glass. This isn't even my biggest glass, John Myers. I had a bigger glass and I almost went with the bigger glass. This was my smaller glass. And I have an hour. That I need to sit here and talk. And I'm already, I could have gone bigger. Don't make me get my bigger glass. BP's not here. He said he's going to get me a Yeti. What he doesn't know is I have a Yeti, you guys. I took it to my studio and I left it there by accident. So, the final move out of the studio is occurring between Thursday and Friday. So by tomorrow, I kind of got to get all the rest of my stuff out of there. I've got mostly everything out though, but anyway, I'm headed to the weekend, over to the coast this weekend. We're going to celebrate my dad's life over there as a family. And so I'm excited to spend time with the family. It's, of course, going to be kind of a more somber reason why we're all coming together for my dad. But it's going to be nice for us to all be together. We're also celebrating my nephew's birthday because my nephew just had his birthday over this last weekend. So we're going to celebrate that. And then I have some content that I'm going to make. I actually have been prepping all of the content for my for what I'm creating this weekend. So I will have some fun weekend adventures, weekend content. If you guys are not familiar with California, I think you're going to find it really interesting. If you've never been here before, it's a coastal area. Some of it will play off of things that I've already talked about in some of my other live streams, or not my live streams, but some of the stuff I've created from Ventura. And so, because I'll just be up north from Ventura. So if you guys have been following along on the channel, you'll kind of understand some of what I'm already talking about, but I think you guys will enjoy. I think you'll enjoy what I have planned for this weekend. So I'm super excited about it because I kind of hit a rut on like, what am I going to do for my next video? And yeah, you guys, look, crypto is fun, but it's like it's a bear market. There's only so much to say during a bear market. Like, I have the articles for today pulled up, and we're going to get into the crypto show. We're going to pull up the charts. We're going to pull up the news. But it is just so boring right now in crypto because we're just waiting for positive price action. There's been a little bit of movement. The market's gotten a little noisy. We went from greed to fear, and now we're going to go back to greed, or from fear to greed. We went to 80 on the greed scale. So we're probably going to bounce back into the fear range one more time. It's boring right now. Finance in general is just boring. Do you remember taking finance classes in school? Boring. Boring. So we like to keep it fun. So, and some of you guys like some of my little adventure videos. So I've got a fun little adventure video planned for this weekend. So, crypto is dead, says John Myers. It's not dead. It's not dead. It's just taking a little nap. And when it takes a little nap like this is when we want to accumulate. So I'm going to keep screaming about accumulation because that's what we have to do. We have to accumulate when price is low. So I did not get Cardano at 14 cents. I knew that was the bottom. Will I see 14 cent Cardano again? Probably never. Probably never. This morning, I went into a space with Gary V talking about NFTs. NFT super cycle. I am like, okay, this is where I'm starting to feel like we could potentially have like a repeat of the 2021 bull run where it was altcoins, NFTs, less focused on launching new coins, new narratives. So I'm a little hopeful because as I was listening to Gary V talk, the space got more and more full. And if you guys have been on Twitter Spaces, you know Twitter Spaces has kind of been dead. There's not really a whole lot of action with it. And when was the last time Twitter Spaces was a thing? Is when NFTs were a thing. So, but now we're starting to hear about NFTs again. And all of a sudden the space gets full of people. Everybody's in there. Everybody's feeling bullish. Everybody's feeling bullish. In fact, people are starting to feel a little bullish on altcoins again. And people were kind of wondering if altcoins were dead, if we were never going to have another altcoin season, which just doesn't make any sense to me. The majority of altcoins were coins that were built with infrastructure and purpose. So, let's see. $1 Million Highway live stream. I don't even know what $1 Million Highway is. What is that? Is that a road? Is that a road near me? I don't even know what road that is. Let's see. And then Mike Bulmer says, I'm not far from the $1 Million Highway. Are you trying to send me to Mike Bulmer's house? Is this a setup? I feel like you guys are setting me up. This is a setup. I can tell. I do have my new car. In fact, I need to put my new plates on. I won't show you my new plates, but here I got my tags. Put on my new plates. My new car. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it, you guys. So I might be ready to go cross country. I might be ready. Google it, Julie. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I probably should have done like the road trip while it was summertime. Yeah, the car I was driving over summer, though, that is now my daughter's car, that would not have made it. That would not have made it. I'm trying to think. I drove it all the way to Vegas and back, and I'm like shocked that that car made it to Vegas and back because I did go through Death Valley. But the only reason it made it was because I went before it was too hot. I went early mornings, and traveling early morning helped me from being like, you know, in a dicey situation with a car in the desert. So I try to be responsible when I go on road trips, you guys, because I am a bit of a road warrior. I rack up the miles on my car. So don't tempt me, because I might go check out this $1 million highway, $1 million highway, whatever you call it. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into the show for today, because I am feeling as though people are feeling like we're going to have a really big dump in the market. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto charts. You know, Chipper, the only problem with live streaming on the road is just that you get to spots where the connection doesn't work. And I tried it, like Blocky was doing his drive-in lives, and I really like Blocky's drive-in lives. So I thought I would try it. And as I was driving around town, it didn't work. Like even here in town, the Wi-Fi connection or the just internet would drop out. And so unless you're in an area with good internet, he says, Starlink, how am I supposed to get Starlink? I don't have Starlink. Chipper, you're just throwing words out there. I don't have Starlink. Yeah, I'm sure at some point we're going to be there to where we can live stream anywhere 24/7. But this is what I run into when I'm live streaming. Like when I'm in hotels in Vegas, there'll be dead zones. So it's like I can't just walk through the casino because all of a sudden the connection cuts out. So, and then same with like when I'm driving around. I would love to just drive and live stream wherever I'm at. The only option is to be able to take the video and edit it after the fact and upload that, which is really where I'm at. Is a lot of the places that I'm going into, a lot of times like the internet is just not good. The pixels are crazy, and I want to create like good videos. You know, so I'm like up against this, like I want high quality videos, but I also want to live stream. And so this is where I've settled on. I just make videos about the stuff I'm interested in and stuff that I want to go do. And then if I live stream, I'm a live stream and talk about crypto with you guys. So, and if you know, I don't know how that's going to work with like my viewer count. If like people who follow me for my adventures see, oh, she's live streaming about crypto every day and the notifications are irritating, and they might unsubscribe to me because I post less adventure videos than my everyday live stream. So I don't know how long term that's going to work out for me, but for right now, I'm enjoying doing it. So all right, I digress, you guys. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We rejected 80,000 rather hard, and as you can see here, we have been money flow in the out on Bitcoin with this steady stream down all the way to 78,333. We got angel numbers there. Look at that. So with this rejection, we have to see if we cannot cross over this 80K range. We're in for a potentially another leg down on this and a retest to a lower level. So what we could potentially look to see is where our positions are going to be getting back in, because if you're like me, you were sidelined for this pump, and there's not going to be many more pumps left where you are going to have a pullback where you can find yourself an entry. Unless you're just scalp trading, guys. And I don't, if you're good at swing trading, congratulations. You're probably not watching this. But the majority of us who are going to DCA into Bitcoin, we're going to buy in when prices are low, when the chart is red. And so we would look to see when a better entry level would be. Would love to see 69K Bitcoin again, because 69K Bitcoin would be an excellent entry at this point at 78,000. I don't know that we're going to go down that low this time, though. And so then you have to look at what are your entries. So Bitcoin, we're just continuing to put in these big green dots. Money flow has continued in the red. We'll see what happens here. But what is more interesting to me is Ethereum, which is still holding on relatively strong. Relatively strong. I'd say it's up 1% on the day. Has not followed Bitcoin completely. Up 24.66. So in comparison where we were at just 2 weeks ago at 1800, I mean, and stuck at 1800. We were stuck at 1800. Oh, Mama Shadow, you didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. She was saying, insurance companies suck the life right out of you. Let me tell you, I don't know which insurance company you're dealing with, but I mean, I've dealt with medical insurance, but right now I'm dealing with the car insurance companies because I like, you know, add a new car, inquire about a different coverage, and now my phone won't stop ringing, and I'm like, no, why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? So Ethereum looks good in comparison. And this is why I feel like potentially we're going to have an altcoin season this time. Because if you remember last bull run, at the start of last bull run, Bitcoin would rise and others would rise with it. If Bitcoin would fall, everything else would fall. This time we've had some upwards momentum on Ethereum, and it has stayed stronger comparative to Bitcoin, which has fallen. And so looking at Ethereum, now take a look at Solana, because we see the same thing over here on Solana, because Solana went up above 100, although it is still down and it is in the 96K range, $96 range. It is still up from where it was at because it was stuck at 70. It was stuck at the 70s. So hovering near $100 Solana is a lot better shape, which overall, also Chainlink, another one we've talked about, was down at $8, has had to run all the way up towards nearly 12, still sitting at 11. We've had a good run on 3. These are just 3 altcoins that I've looked at. Just 3. Now, ADA, as you guys know, gave me that 14 cents, and I felt like that was bottom. We're still at 20 here. I say Bitcoin goes down, this goes down. What are we going to see? I don't think we go lower than like 18 cents again on ADA. I just don't. So I need to figure out what my entry points are on this next pullback, because I do have some money sidelined and I'm like ready to, I'm ready to play. Hello, Dreamer. Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, but money flow has been in the red on all of these. Let's take a look at Sui. Sui's trading at 73 cents, down 2.5% on the day. XRP is down 4% and is trading at $1.37. $1.37. All right. I was going to look and see what gold's doing. Gold's still at $45.91. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and hop over and take a look at our crypto bubbles. Everything is mostly red. Top 100. Mostly red, with the exception of SPX 6900. Look at that. 55 cents. But, okay, on the monthly, it's up 70. I remember I was looking at it just yesterday, so it's funny to see that it's up again today. Is the conviction returning to SPX? I do think it's a meme coin. I don't know if you hold SPX, you call it more of a culture coin. I don't think you call it a meme coin at this point. I think it's a cult coin. Anyway, I digress, you guys. Top 100, it's pretty red. It is pretty red. People who have conviction on SPX, they're obviously backing up the trucks and buying more of it. There is strong conviction on that play, though. So, all right, you guys, let's go ahead and see here. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll hear a word from our sponsors over on today's show. Our sponsor is Personas. Let's hear from our friends over at Personas.
Social media taught us how to post, scroll, and react, but not always how to truly remember. Our most meaningful memories are everywhere, hidden in camera rolls, old messages, voice notes, and forgotten folders. Personas brings those memories together, creating a living memory profile you can keep adding to as life goes on. Photos, voice clips, videos, and personal stories become the foundation of a Personas, built from real memories. The people who know you best can add the moments only they remember. Stories, photos, voice notes, and milestones. With memory requests, nothing is added without approval. Every story is reviewed, accepted, and preserved with care. Personas is different by design, not built for attention, but built for meaning, connection, and legacy. It is not about replacing someone. It is about preserving the voice, wisdom, and love they chose to leave behind. A personas can grow through every chapter, from childhood to family to future generations, still adding to the story. This is Personas, a new way to share who we are, remember who we love, and keep stories connected. Personas, built for memories, designed for connections.
All right, you guys. All right, you guys. I just realized there's no Po-Man in here. Where is Po-Man? Like, wait a minute. I expect there to be no Blocky, but where is Po-Man? I did. I just scrolled everywhere. Hello, Steve Hickey. Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm screaming for Po-Man, and then Steve appears. Welcome into the chat, Steve. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I'm like, I know Po-Man's alive. We were chatting in the Blocky Discord earlier today. So I've been having fun popping into Blocky's Discord, you guys. Yeah, Blocky's allowed. He's playing with this cute little grandbaby. So I totally understand why he's not. Steve Hickey said, "Are you yelling at me and Poe?" I am. I'm yelling. Poe, you're. Now I see it going everywhere, you guys. Poe, you're being requested. You are being requested. That's all right. It's all right. I have heard Po-Man in action, and he sounds like he gets busy sometimes. So if Po-Man is busy, I totally understand. So, all right, you guys, we do have some breaking news to get into, and it's exciting today because we're talking about finance. So let's get into the breaking news. All right, hold on. I am on the wrong article. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I am not. Oh, my God. You guys, I cannot be stopped today. I am uncontrollable. All right, you're going to love this one. I knew you were going to love this one. So, Chainalysis estimates that 457 billion in taxable crypto activities, says Carf misses most. So let's dive into it. So the blockchain analytics firm said just 14% of on-chain activity is identified as covered by the OECD's International Crypto Tax Reporting Framework. So let's dive into it. Potentially taxable on-chain crypto activity reached at least 457 billion globally in 2025, while international reporting rules may capture only a fraction of it. So the US accounted for an estimated 112 billion in total, while North America led all regions with 134 billion, followed by the European Union at 125 billion. So the estimates included realized gains, income from activities such as mining, staking, lending, and crypto-denominated payments across 6 major blockchains, but exclude trading and other wallet activity concluded within centralized exchanges. So what this means is people are not filing their taxes on the crypto that they're trading, and Chainalysis are able to see that. So Chain Analysis said transactions covered by the Organizations for Economic Cooperation and Development, or the OECD's Crypto Asset Reporting Framework, or CARF, accounted for just 14% of the on-chain taxable activity it identified. The remaining 86% includes activity on decentralized exchanges, peer-to-peer transfers, and on-chain income streams and payments. CARF, developed by the OECD in 2022, requires covered crypto services providers to report customer transaction data to tax authorities. So they can see here from what has been reported, only 14% is actually being realized on taxes. So CARF's limits on-chain tax reporting. So the CARF data collection began on January 1 of 2026 in 48 jurisdictions, including the United Kingdom and European Union, requiring covered crypto platforms to collect additional customer and tax residency information. Under CARF in scope, crypto providers collect customer and tax residency information and report transaction data to domestic tax authorities, which can then share that information across borders. So, CARF focuses on crypto intermediaries, also helps explain gaps highlighted by Chain Analysis. So, Kobe Mangles, who's a former OECD advisor who worked on CARF, told Cointelegraph in January that the framework was designed around intermediaries that facilitate crypto transactions as a business. So much of decentralized finance therefore remains outside of the reporting parameter, as there may be no centralized operator or custodial relationship on which to impose these reporting requirements, or meaning that this number is just underreported in general. So although it's nearly 500 billion in taxable income that has been reported, that's just a fraction of what has actually been generated that has been reported. And is there even any oversight on the people who are actually reporting? Is everyone reporting as they're supposed to, etc., etc.? So that could change as regulators develop rules for decentralized platforms. So Mangel said that tax authorities are watching developments in anti-money laundering regulations, including efforts determined by when DeFi platforms and their operators should be treated as regulated crypto service providers. So there you have it. This is a little excerpt here from the CARF operating framework. So this shows how the CARF service providers report and apply the due diligence rules, which are this whole process, you guys. It's extremely boring, but the reason I wanted to talk about this particular article is because the fact that we're going to start to see a crackdown, in my opinion, on people who are reporting or underreporting crypto gains. So it's one of those things where you need to be, if you receive your tax forms 1099-DA in the mail, if you've received a 1099-DA, the U.S. government has also received your 1099-DA. So your 1099-DA that you receive, you probably want to go ahead and file that. So, and if you don't, just know that like they're going to potentially see some discrepancies between what you have filed in your taxes and what they're seeing your taxes reported as. Because ultimately, when we're looking down the path of what we have now, which is that we're really looking at like this crazy surveillance state, basically. Hold on, let me do that. Can I do that? Ooh, I made it smaller. I got a bigger face now. I like that. I'm not all super pixelated either. You guys, I like it. I like it. So as we continue to move forward with crypto regulation, with AI integration, with the fact that we're underreporting taxes, and governments are going to be made aware of that. We're going to see, I think, more of a crackdown on cryptocurrency and if people are reporting or not reporting their crypto gains. So, with that being said, 1099 DA, if you receive it, the US government has received it, you want to file that and report the taxes. If you receive something in the mail saying that you are being audited because there is something with your cryptocurrency that maybe was not filed, then you need to seek some sort of crypto attorney that's going to help you. That, depending on obviously like how much it is, like if it's not anything that you're really too worried about, then that's on you. But if it's an amount that you're potentially worried about, we've talked about here on the channel, and we've had Andrew Gordon on the channel, who is a crypto tax attorney. He is brilliant, you guys. You don't have to think of attorneys in a negative light. There are attorneys who are there to help you. And if you find yourself facing an audit, then you need an attorney such as Andrew Gordon, who's going to just make someone's life extremely difficult for auditing you. And ultimately, if it's making your life a pain, why not make their life a pain? I've played some of Andrew Gordon's content on here before. One of his customers was audited, and when they submitted all of the paperwork for the audit, they decided to print it all and send it in a box, which was extremely inefficient. Someone had to then take all of those papers and scan them or do something with them. But that was how they submitted for the audit. And that's just brilliant. You want someone who's going to help be creative in ways to help your money continue to work for you. Because ultimately, the US government takes your money. They take their taxes before you even get your paycheck, right? And then their tax system is built in on point of sale kiosks. Like, they have their hand and they're getting their claws into all of your money regardless. They're getting their hands on your money regardless. So I think, as long as you're doing what you need to report your taxes, and if you end up facing an audit, then I think you should do everything in your power to make their life a pain too, because it's just not right. That's just not right. Yes. I'm with you, Blocky. They won't call you because if anything, they owe you money. That's how I feel. I'm like, if anything, the government owes me money. I mean, I paid my taxes, and I've always paid my taxes. I have never even been late on taxes in my entire life. I have always filed within that same year. I have the worst I have ever done is filed in an extension to July. That is or June, or I forget when my extension was, but that was the worst. Now, I mean, I've been doing taxes so long now. I do my taxes myself. It's like I paid someone else to do my taxes for many, many years. And then the more that I got into doing, and ultimately, here's what I realized about taxes. I know we've gotten really boring. This is some definite finance channel stuff here. What I realized is, for me to do my taxes, I have to pull everything together for the tax person. I have to give them all of it. So I'm already doing the majority of the work to pull it all together. If I've already done everything to pull all of this together, why am I not going to just punch in the stuff myself? It's literally opening an app and then punching it all in yourself. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. So I don't understand why people aren't paying their taxes. Unless you do something really silly, like my brother, once upon a time when he was a younger gentleman in his career, he claimed exempt. And if you've ever claimed exempt on your taxes for a year, you will wish you didn't. Because at the end of the day, the government takes so much out of your paycheck that if you don't let them just take it right then and there, you will probably find yourself in jail, because most people cannot climb out of a $50,000 tax debt. The way that the government has it is you can't take 20 years to pay it off. You don't get to take, oh, I can only afford this month. No, it doesn't work like that. If you owe them the money, you owe them the money. So anyway, I digress, you guys. The reason I wanted to talk about taxes is because this article popped up and it was so incredibly boring that I'm like, I absolutely need to talk about this, because what this tells me is that they are watching, they can see, and that we're just on the cusp of AI cracking down on all of this. And, you know, before you used to have people in the government auditing you and you know, flagging you. Not if AI is doing it. You know, you've got people saying, oh, I got auto-rejected from a job 5 seconds after I applied for it because it was AI. Just wait until that's your taxes. Just wait until you submit your taxes and you're being audited immediately because of how it's gone in wrong. You know, it's like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So. Yeah, Blocky said, you can set up payments. Trust me, I know. Yes, you can set up payments, but they're not little payments. They're not little payments. Like, they want you to have it paid off, like, within a year, don't they? So that's my point. If you owe $50K from the prior year, and then you have to fix your income, your tax payout, your tax, so that it's better for the following year because you didn't do it this year. Now you owe all of these payments to Uncle Sam. Well, that's now coming out of your payments from the next year. So now you're paying the US government double the amount in the next calendar year. It's just painful. And most people can't afford it. So Blocky said, I've never made good enough money to pay on crypto. Yeah, if you are making trades and you're taking profits and winning a good amount, then you need to pay your taxes on it. You need to pay your taxes on it. I had to pay mine when I did my good trade on the Robinhood trade. I had to pay my taxes on it. I did. I made good, you guys. And I just, I've never wanted to find myself in trouble. So, I'm not going to tell you guys too much. I promised myself I wouldn't tell you too much. But if you've ever been in trouble with the law before, you never want to be in trouble with the law again. So if you've been in trouble before, then you tend to be overly cautious because you never want to be in trouble again. So, and you guys know some of my stories here on the channel. We've talked about them before. All right, you guys, moving on to our next article. 77% of Americans see crypto in retirement plans as risky. This is a new survey that finds broad skepticism towards crypto in the workplace retirement plans as U.S. policymakers move to expand access to alternative assets. So let's dive into it. More than 3/4 of Americans view cryptocurrency in workplace retirement plans as risky, as concerns over retirement securities mount across the United States, according to a new survey. The survey found that 77% of Americans consider crypto in workplace retirement plans as risky, including 46% who view it as very risky, while 53% oppose employers offering crypto as an investment option. 53% of people oppose employers offering crypto as an investment option. There is so much more work to be done to onboard retail. My best friend's fiance still thinks crypto is not real money. And I'm like, how is it not real money? How can you really think it's not real money? They really just think it's invisible numbers on a computer and no dollars ever come out. It's just... And it doesn't matter how much I talk about it to him. It just doesn't register. And I really think that there's just people who understand investing and trading, and then there's people who do not understand investing and trading. And so a lot of people don't even understand investing and trading in general. And it's people who are a little more aggressive in the stock market that even moved into crypto. And so I'm really not surprised, but I feel like this number is more a generational number. Like, I feel like the youth is more likely to invest in crypto. And it's just probably I don't want to say the boomers, because even my mom is like heavily into Bitcoin. Like, it doesn't need to be just the boomers. It's just that some people are much more risk averse, and there has been so much negative news around Bitcoin for the last 16 years that some people are just really afraid of it. So the skepticism comes from 80% of respondents that said the U.S. faces retirement crisis, up from 67% in 2020, while 61% of concern are expressed concern about achieving financial security in retirement. So it could just be that some of these people are just worried about retirement in general, right? It could just be that people are worried about retirement in general. So, and like, I know people that say I'm never going to retire. Do you guys know anyone that says that I'm never going to retire? It's sad when you hear that, but it's the sad reality of what people feel, that they just won't ever be able to retire. So the affordability pressure are also weighing on retirement savings, with 68% saying it's becoming harder to prepare for retirement and 77% saying that debt prevents them from saving adequately. The survey was conducted by Greenwald Research between October 24th and November 14th. So that was last year. And the Americans aged 25 and older were the ones weighing in on this. So I think it's going to change, though. Let's go ahead and see here. It says U.S. policymakers move to broaden alternative assets in 401ks. So while the reports indicate that Americans' broad view of crypto is risky in retirement, the Trump administration and federal government have moved to broaden access to alternative assets in retirement accounts, bringing crypto and non-traditional investments further into the retirement and savings debate. The U.S. Department of Labor rescinded its guidance in May of 2025 and urged 401k plans fiduciaries to exercise extreme care when considering cryptocurrency investments, returning instead to a neutral approach of neither endorsing nor discouraging crypto in retirement plans and investment menus. So, but again, like, look, there's all these Trump accounts, kids who were just born, or I forget what age it extended all the way up to with the Dell family. I think all the way up to age 10. But all of these kids were given accounts that were funded. And so, when you would look at investing in your early 20s and early 30s, and you would see how this swing of the investment is, you have to have held for a long period of time to receive all of the gains of holding that asset. And so with these Trump accounts and funding the Trump accounts, it's ultimately teaching these kids that, hey, it was this small amount at the beginning, but now it's this large amount when you're 20 years old, versus being 20, barely making ends meet, trying to make it with a young family, and then, 20 years down the line, by the time you're 40, it's just hard to see. It's really hard to see the that just in general. So if you're here, shout out to you. You made it when the rest haven't. Why am I getting all glitchy? Wow, that's cute. Wow, I'm gonna blame it on Blocky. You guys, it's like glitching me out so I look slow and drunk. That's cool. It is a different chat without Poe. See, it's even making my internet suck. Making my internet suck. What the heck? What the heck? All right, you guys. I do got one more article for us to dive into. All right, Ethereum developers propose staking contract update to mitigate quantum attack risks. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. A group of Ethereum researchers proposed building the contract that allows participants to become validators to help secure the blockchain from potential quantum computing enabled attacks. The proposal targets the deposit contract, or the entry point from which users lock up Ether to qualify as validators to operators to verify transactions and keep the blockchain running. It seeks to add a switch to prevent the network to accepting the signature format it currently relies on. Wow, that is crazy. I don't even know how I would feel. I mean, you still have to sign for it though, right? You still have to sign for it. The current format is one of the obstacles to implementing the broader rollout because it's hard-coded the size of the specialized cryptographic key into pairs known as BLS keys. Ethereum could accept the quantum-resistant signature even if developers agreed on one tomorrow. Oh, wait. Ethereum could not accept a quantum-resistant signature even if developers agreed on one tomorrow. So roughly 42.4 million Ether is staked on Ethereum as of Wednesday, worth about $104 billion at current prices. All of it is secured by validator keys using the format of the draft could eventually retire. The proposal is an early draft awaiting review and currently filed under a placeholder number, with one of the repository maintainers suggesting to be numbered IEP 8394. The proposal also retires the old depositor processing system that Ethereum has used since staking was introduced in 2022 and transfers deposits into the newer framework already handling withdrawals and validating changes. So the validator currently signing transactions with the BLS, a system whose main advantage is that of 100,000 signatures can be squashed into one, which keeps Ethereum's consensus affordable. So the technology, however, is built on an elliptic curve maths that quantum computing running SOAR algorithm could uptick. So letting an attacker forge a validator's signature. So that is where they're trying to ultimately fix the issue. So, it's interesting now. You guys remember when Ethereum was doing the upgrades, and they were really trying to compete with Solana and their gas fees. Like, Solana gas fees are so low. The big complaint back in 2021 was all the gas fees on Ethereum. So 2022, they roll out this new framework, which allows the validator signatures to condense it into this small, it squashes it into a single, I don't know, pixel, whatever you want to call it. It makes it easier. So now that update, they're realizing they're going to have to update it because that's potentially going to create a problem for quantum computing. So, if approved, the proposal could deploy the BLS deposits in operational and other schemes able to register alongside them. A later decision could disable the BLS deposits permanently. In that case, validators are already staking with the BLS keys would not vanish, but new validators would be unable to join with one. So as such, Ethereum would eventually need a separate change telling validators how to check whenever the signature arrives. This is the validator of half of the migration, where the other half is already in play. The EIP 8141, or the frame transaction proposal, which is under consideration for the HOTOG upgrade, which is due later this year, would allow ordinary Ethereum accounts to change the cryptography, approving their transactions without moving to a new address. So did I say that right? The HOTAGA upgrade. Do you know that like every time they do these upgrades on different blockchains, they always give them these crazy names, and like in each different blockchain is its own siloed ecosystem with all of its own jargons, all of its own validators, nodes, its own dexes, centralized exchanges, and everything built on top of it. Every time you step into a new blockchain, it is like a whole new world, a whole new set of lingo. There is so much going on, you guys. Like the first time I ever went to the podcast studio in Venice Beach, and it was like heavy Bitcoin space. Like, I've always spent time in Ethereum spaces, and then I had spent some time in some Cardano spaces, but I'd never really been around like the Bitcoin stuff. And then once I hung around the Bitcoin guys, I'm like, this is a whole new language altogether. I have never even heard of half of the stuff you guys are talking about. And so it's funny because as I'm like reading through this and the EIPs, and I used to know some of the EIPs, and then you got to know some of the ERC numbers, and then you got like the updates, the HOTOG updates, all these. There's a lot, you guys. I tell people that are not in cryptocurrency that cryptocurrency, the reason I love crypto is because, one, I have just a very busy brain. My brain is just constantly going, and crypto allows me an avenue to call myself challenged. There's always something to learn. But with that, I also tell people who are new to crypto, it's almost impossible to get on top of all of it. Like, you can really dig in and try and learn as much as you can. But I have been here every day since 2019, 2020. And there's so much being built out. And it's growing so far, so fast, so many developers, so much being built, so much security, upgrades, you name it. Like, it's a lot to follow and learn. And as much as I try, I will always be at a learning deficit in crypto because it's just growing so fast. I mean, every day I'll get on Twitter and all of a sudden there's something new I've never heard of that's been deployed. And, it just goes to show you that there's just so much. There's so much. So, yeah, where is Po-Man? Now I'm worried about him because Po-Man doesn't ever not show up for a whole show. I mean, we've been here for an hour and Po-Man still hasn't shown up. I'm a little worried now. Now we're going to have to make sure Po-Man's okay. We need to make sure Peace of My Mind is okay. What's happening, you guys? What is even happening? All right, you guys, that is the show for today. If you guys are new here, smash the subscribe. I go live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time talking about all things crypto. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. Shout out to Gokhshtein News Network. You can find David Gokhshtein and the Gokhshtein channel over on YouTube. He goes live every morning. Po-Man is battling with a spider. I can't. The spider is winning. Yes. I almost sent the GIF in the chat with like somebody dressed up like a spider dancing. Yes. I hope everyone has a great day. If you guys are new here, smash the subscribe. I go live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I hope to catch you all on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.